Alrighty, so we are ready to assemble. So I am going to go ahead and retake my critical measurement here. And we're going to say our 17 3/8, and we're just going to make a little 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and we're going to call that our bridge position. But you want to be certain that you don't glue down the bridge, because you need a floating bridge so that you can tune the instrument. Now, the nut, that's kind of a non-negotiable. You gotta fix the nut in place. You know, you could make a groove and set your nut. I'm just going to glue mine in place. And the way I'm going to accomplish that is to just make a little drop of glue right here. This may be dried up. Oh yeah, that's done. Alright, so I'm going to make a little puddle of glue. You're not done. You're just waiting. We had a good stretch of cold weather, though. Oh, well. Alright, and now, move that. You want that nut right there at the very end of the neck at the junction with the body. And the reason for that is you are going to want to start your fretboard right there. There. Now, all right. So the nut is set, and I am going to go ahead and set the fretboard. There again, I made a very barely visible pencil mark, and I am going to just put a line of glue, and then I'm going to take the world's best glue spreader and take a little bit of time to spread this out as super thin as I can, so that we don't get a lot of squeeze out. Because squeeze out is going to be a pain in the neck to clean up on a musical instrument. Even this one, where You might think, why does it even matter? It matters. Number one, this does two things. Number one, it doesn't waste glue, which, there again, you might say, why does that matter? It does. Alright, so now. We're going to go now, in the interest of I'm going to clamp this in place very gingerly. And that is purely as a hold down. It is not a lot of pressure. It is just simply there to be sure that there's an even pressure along the Alright, into that part. So looked in my little scrap cart right here and found us a piece of cherry. That's what I'm going to use to make my tuning pegs. And the way we're going to do that is our tuning pegs need to be about, let me give you an exact figure. That's 1 1/4. So 2 inches would put them up there. So our tuning pegs need to be about, I'm going to start with 2 inches and then we'll pare them back from there. But the idea is to have sufficient material and not come out with a peg that's too thin or not long enough. Alright, so I marked our lengths there, and I'm just going to go ahead and make, scribe a line, and scribe a line. Yeah, that fine pencil is much better. Now, the sketch mean, everybody's got a vague idea of what a tuning peg looks like. I could use screw eyes for this. I'm going to make tuning pegs because I think that is a skill I want to work on. So that's what I'm going to do. And to make that easier on myself, I'm going to take a washer and I'll be right back with you. I need to find a washer. Alrighty, so I'm back, and I'm going to take, first of all, and I'm going to center this old piece of scrap right here, and I'm going to make the minimum stock width to start with to begin paring this block down to make our tuning pegs. And then I'll use the bottom of this as the key, so to speak, or the thumb grip for our tuning pegs. And the reason we want to do that is so that we don't wind up with a tuning peg that is not properly sized for the hole. Another way to do this would be to just make caps and use dowels. The problem with that is if it swells at all and you have to wrench on it, then it's very likely that the knob is going to break off. And that doesn't sound like a good time to me. Alright, so I'm going to take this right here. Feels kind of flush, and then I'll just round off these corners, because that's just going to be a guide. By the time this is over, you will have, or I will have, fiddled and fussed with it until I'm happy with it. Alright, and round that over. Alright, so here is our basic shapes, and I am thinking that I will take about maybe a 1/4 inch. That each of these little keys is actually longer than the shaft, so I think I'm going to back that up to about 3/4 of an inch in all three, and I think that will be better. All right, there. There, and all right here. So I'm going to go ahead and back this bottom of this key up to here, so they're a little more oval than all right. So there you see, this is going to be our little handle, so to speak, here and here. And I will go and shape these at the bandsaw, and then it'll be shaping time. Or actually, I'm going to cut them out on the bandsaw, and then it'll be shaping time. But until then, you know, I don't want to sit and sand all this. So anyway, I'll move you over to the bandsaw and we'll go on. Okay, so our next thing we need to do is to round off all of the surfaces, make the handle more comfortable and much thinner. And I need to round this over so that it makes a shaft slightly smaller, but very, very snug for the peg head, so that our dulcimer will stay in tune. So I'm going to go and do that, and I will get back with you. As far as it being interesting to watch, it looks a lot like this. Only there's going to come a point of frustration, and I'm going to try and do it with a power tool. I may actually, since it is a little more, about 5/8 thick, I'm going to try and use the bandsaw and take that down to 1/4 of an inch, or take some off at least, so that it's a little less drudgerous chore. I'm sure that's probably not the best way, but that's what we're going to do. All right, I'll catch you when it's done.